All right, are we ready to rumble today, folks? Dude, we're already getting called out in the chat. People are ready. They want this stream. And boy, do we have a stream for you all, folks. It's I, Jay Ross. We're here today to talk about the Seattle Sounders are on, they're looking like they're going to be signing Ryan Kent, not Roy Kent from Ted Lasso, Ryan Kent. If you know, you know, especially if you played FIFA. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be signing him. I guess let's first and foremost get your initial thoughts. It's just broke today, this news. J Ross, let's get your initial thoughts on Ryan Kent, and then we're gonna start diving into what positions does he plays, what are his best attributes, this and that. How are the Sounders getting him and whatnot? Let's first get your initial thoughts off the rip.
Well, at first, he's a free agent, so I liked it. My thought was we've been saying how just in terms of getting butts in seats, we kind of wanted at least one name where non-MLS fans think, oh, that guy, and Ryan Kent is that name. May or may not be because he was cracked in FIFA for 1 year, but nonetheless, Ryan Kent, there are some 17 to 23-year-old guys who don't like the Sounders will be like, oh, Ryan Kent banter, and I'll put butts in seats, so I like it.
Does it not remind you of a similar man in Obafemi Martins? Because when you think about it, Oba was a really cracked card in FIFA back in his day too. And that's how I initially knew about Oba when he first joined us. I didn't know much about his illustrious career, but I was like, oh, I know him from FIFA because his card's insane.
Yeah, and I mean, I could see that for sure. And also with Club World Cup, all of this stuff, being able to bring in a name that people think and recognize on he's a free agent. It's I like the deal. When you look at it, there are definitely some question marks around it, but depending on how much we'd pay him, it's why not take a flyer?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But in regards to this, first and foremost, welcome everybody to the stream. Angie, Christian, Wade, looks like a Brad Smith clone. See, I saw there's some conversation circulating around, oh, this guy's like a Brad Smith type signing. I don't totally agree with that, but we'll get into that. This is definitely a very much W type of signing you want. Low risk, high reward. Yeah. It's kind of as well, one thing I'll add, it's kind of out of left field because it's based off of what transfer business we've seen under Craig Weibel, who would have thought they would just go for a signing like this?
Yeah.
That was the big thing for me is it's out of left. And I like that. It's a little bit of a gamble. We've been so safe these last couple years. I'm not necessarily, I do agree. I wouldn't say it's necessarily ambitious or anything, or it's the big marquee signing you want, but it is the step in the right direction. 100%. I don't think this is going to be the end all be all, solves all your attacking issues, but kind of like what you said, J Ross, do I think this is the guy that's going to get butts back into seats? No, but it gets fans excited. That's 100%
Yeah,
true.
and I mean, it's free, right? He's a free agent. In terms of free agents, that if he has interest in coming here, why not take a flyer on him?
Yeah, no,
I don't really see
totally agree.
I feel like that there's not much downside, especially if you get him on a 1 year deal with a club option. It's oh, if we sign him and he turns into an Insigne type player who's just pain in the butt in the locker room, it's okay, you got to deal with the rest of the year and get the heck out.
Yeah.
So it's
it's kind of it's kind of maybe if you renewed Rusnak on a 1 year deal, you have less of a stress of, oh, you might have to offload him if he's still not going to happen and whatnot. Okay, so let's quickly go through some questions before we start talking about Mr. Ryan Kent. What are the chances that he does actually join the Sounders? Based off of what's being said, it looks like. But the thing is most of the time when you hear Sounders are in advanced talks with a player, when does it not really happen? We're not really a team that flirts with a lot of rumors. So
Rashford.
I think, yeah, Rash. Well, that one didn't really last, but I think this is likely to happen. I think it's based off of kind of like we talked about in our group chat. Sounders were very likely to make a signing after Areola's ending injury, which we're assuming Sounders will put him on the end of season injury list, which basically gives the Sounders a relief on his contract deal. So basically they recoup money out of that. Granted, either way though, and I think J. Ross, I don't know if you agree or disagree with me. Even if Areola wasn't hurt, I think the Sounders still could have pulled off this move because I think they would have because he's a
100%.
free transfer. There isn't much,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, Ryan Kent. We do have to look about it on the other side of the coin. He's kind of desperate. We can't lie. He's kind of desperate.
100%. That's what I was gonna say. He has his contract got terminated like what, like 5 months ago now.
6
So
months
it's
ago,
like at
yeah.
this point, it's starting to the point where I feel like if he's not signed by a team, it's like he's kind of willing to try anything. And it's kind of I don't really understand how he fell in our laps because like when he first was getting like isolated in training by Mourinho, it was like he was linked to Ajax and Leeds United and all these
And
things.
apparently
And
teams in
now it's
Syria
like,
and things like that, yeah.
yeah, in Saudi Arabia, it's like I don't really understand how he's gone this long if there really was that much interest. So it's like, I'll take it.
Yeah, so a little bit background about the whole transfer saga for Ryan Kent, guys. Again, we're kind of piecing things together. I think it's quite funny because for many of you that might not know, I'm kind of in the know when it comes to Iranian football media. He came up on my radar just a couple months ago. I was just tweeting about him because he was very close to joining Persepolis, who are one of the big teams in Iran. And I pulled up the article about it because he has a crocodile. For many of that may not know, he has a pet crocodile, and one of the big incentives for him why he wanted to go and play in Iran was because they allow him to have his crocodile. So he was very close just a couple months ago to joining Persepolis in Iran, just literally like a month or two ago before this move happened, and obviously it didn't accumulate to anything. But that was just an interesting talking point, something I wanted to bring up that hasn't been mentioned but a few reporters that I'm close with in Iran were bringing that up to me, how he was close to joining them and things like that. But we have a couple of donations. Geez, you guys are spamming the comics. Hard to keep up. Okay, who benefits from this? Did he say all? Oh, I think he's saying all Morris or Jesus. I don't know. What do you think?
I think they both do, right? Because I feel like this is just Ryan Kent. If you look at like how he plays, he's a take you on type of wingers and get to the byline, put service in the box, and get assists. And I feel like that end product is kind of what we're missing. Like that ball to set up the goal. I think that's something Kent can provide, right? I think that'll help Morris I think it would probably help Morris more after how we're seeing them play because I think definitely we've seen Jesus drop off the line a little bit more. I feel like Kent is the type of guy to give Morris those tap ins. I feel like more. I mean, you put a guy if he ends up playing to his ceiling, we've seen at Rangers, all of our attack's going to benefit, right? Like,
You
come
know
on.
who's not going to benefit from it though? If I'm going to be honest, which kind of makes me sad. I don't think this benefits Pedro.
No, I don't think so either. But also, like, if you're the Sounders, another Pedro injury, like, you got to start to like be
No.
thinking,
No,
like,
no,
okay,
no.
we
I don't
can't
think it's a
rely on him.
No, I don't disagree, but it is sad. This is because okay, we'll look at it right now and let's get to Barry's $20 donation. Big shout out to you, Barry Precial. I got to talk to Craig for an hour and a half last Thursday. He said, how do you get these conversations with Craig, Barry? Get us in these conversations. I'm just kidding. I actually don't want to talk to Craig.
I
And he
will.
said that they okay, yeah, take J Ross with you. We were in the market to replace Paul. I didn't think the signing would be this soon. Honestly, one thing I've kind of learned when it comes to the Sounders, and you guys can chime in on it, is we don't really flirt with rumors. Whenever something comes up with the Sounders, it usually just happens.
Yeah.
There isn't really much dilly-dallying, wishy-washiness to it, if you guys get what I mean. So,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. It
and
does feel like the Sounders don't really like flirt. It's not like the Inter Miamis of the world, right? Too, because like let's be honest, like Seattle compared to Miami as a city, like it's not like the big name players are vacationing here. So I kind of feel like it's one of those things where it's like if our name's involved with it, it's because we're actually doing it. It's not because we're a hot spot for players to come spend their summers.
or we're a fluffer, you could say, in the news.
Yeah.
So Angie says, I haven't heard of this guy before. Rumors, is he any good? I watched highlights of him. He looks amazing. We're going to get into that right now. Let's now talk about it. So when it comes to Mr. Kent, I'm going to pull up his transfer marked tab right here. Let's see how this looks for you all. Okay, here you go. So J. Ross and I's knowledge, and I don't mean to just throw him in the same pool as me. I think it's pretty surface level. We know him obviously through FIFA, being, soccer sickos. His primary position is left winger. He is predominantly that. He mainly only plays that. And that brings up to my point of why I'm thinking this is not bad for Pedro. I don't think competition is ever bad, but I don't see him playing anywhere else. I don't see him playing as a wing back. I don't see him playing on the right wing. I don't see him playing striker. He's playing left winger. If if we're gonna do some weird shit where we throw him in if he's playing wing back and shit like that, that's not utilizing him to the best of his abilities. He is a left winger. That is what he does.
Yeah, I think
And
this
that
is not good for Paul Rothrock personally. I think that this is sort
oh,
of that. I think this is Weibel and Schmetz are saying we need a guy who can like get consistent service and at a consistent level, because we've seen it in flashes from Rothrock and Georgie, but like if Kent is performing at levels that we've seen him as recently as a year
consistency.
and a half ago, like
Yeah.
it is a different level than some of the production we've seen.
Yeah, definitely with Rothrock, I think this season, and I think Georgie to a degree, but less so. I think there's a lot of faith put into Paul, and he's only had one good game. Being an out and out starter now, that's not good. One good game to like 4 or 5 pretty poor games. I think to add on to your point is probably what adds to why we need like a consistent out and out guy. I think Georgie in a similar boat too, a little less so because I don't think Georgie's had as bad of games, but granted, I don't think he's had as good of a game as Rothrock did against LAFC. But it all
Yeah.
both kind of evens each other out because it's like Georgie's just kind of been decent, while Rothrock's had really, really highs and really, really lows. So yes, that's a good point. Definitely for Paul because he's a left winger. Uh, it doesn't help him. In regards to clubs he's played for, most notably, he played for Liverpool at youth level. His biggest name was with Rangers, and then most recently with the Fenerbahce for a big amount of money, 9 million. Oh no, I apologize. Where did he go for 9 million? I don't understand how this graph works. Or did he go on a free? Or his market value? I apologize. So the
Yeah.
highest transfers when he went from Liverpool to Rangers, which that's where he made his biggest name at, was with Rangers. If I had his like whole stat sheet up, I could show you guys. That's funny. Interest potential. I didn't even notice this till right now. Sounders.
Yeah,
But
he's like a legit cult hero at Rangers too. Like there's a lot of
yeah,
fans who wanted him back because he's
yeah.
loved there. And if you look at his numbers, like as recently as 2023, it was 11 goal contributions in 29 games, which like isn't amazing in the Scottish league, right? But like that's still decent numbers, and he's not a player you
Yeah,
really
here you
expect
go.
goals out of for most of his career. But
Dude, 56 assists. Okay. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's not bad.
so like he's a legit he can legit create. I think in the MLS, especially some of the defenders, I think could be a legit winger, and I think, like I said, Morris could benefit from this getting quality, consistent service, right?
But the thing is when you look at Kent's game, though, he's not a I do think it will help him, but also I feel like he's a guy that's he's gonna be selfish and he's gonna take chances for himself when the opportunities come. Angie, thank you so much for tuning in. You're the real goat for popping in. Appreciate it.
But my counter to that would be when Morris was at his best was when he had guys like Rui
Yes.
Diaz that
Yeah, yeah,
would
yeah.
be kind of selfish, right?
100%, 100%. So
I
I agree to that note.
And it's at the end of the day, like it's a free transfer. Like I think if we can get him on a free on a legit contract, it's like how is this any worse than when you see other MLS teams go out and sign experienced MLS depth that have the same level of numbers in MLS? No, we have the MLS depth already. Why would we not go and put our name on a
Yes,
flyer?
100%. Yeah, 100%. No, I totally agree with that. And, when it comes to, talking about what happened with this whole stint with him at Fenerbahce, so I don't know, from what I'm seeing is and what I'm reading from Turkish media is he had a falling out with current Fenerbahce head coach Mourinho. He fell out of the pecking order with them. There was a rift. They mutually agreed to terminate contract. We've seen that all the time. He wanted out. Mourinho didn't want him anymore. They wanted to cut their losses. Bada bing, bada boom. Apparently, what some media from Fenerbahce said, there was kind of like an attitude, training, work ethic issue, which is kind of like my only because you don't see this happen often. And there obviously has to be something with that. But again, it's Mourinho. This guy demands a lot. Obviously, one of the greatest coaches to ever coach in the game. That is kind of my only slight concern is because I remember yesterday when we put the post out about Pogba, everyone's biggest gripe with him is, will he mess up the locker room? Will he make things shift and things like that? That's my only slight concern. I don't think that will happen one bit, but that is something that has to be discussed because of what happened at his previous club.
I would say too, like we talk so much about how we keep the Unk squad around all these guys. I think part of it is this. I think the Sounders take so much pride in their locker room and having a close knit group. You know what I mean? And it's so funny to me because I feel like Ryan Kent, which to be honest, like I don't really have the most reliability to comment on this, but like he seems like that's one of the questions about him is his work rate. So I feel like that doesn't really match up with like the Sounders MO, which kind of made me like,
But
whoa,
it
our
could
name.
be it could be Craig's going for a little bit more of a risk now too.
True.
Which granted, even on not even under Craig, under Garth and stuff, we had flops. We had Sessaccini or whatever his name is. We had the Tomases. We had players that have flopped. We had the even though I don't think Wolf Ikram was a bad locker room guy, but we terminated his deal. Like so, like we've had those type like that's happened. And as you said, to bring up to your original point, he's a free transfer. So like if it doesn't pan out, I believe what his deal is with an option. So it looks like he would be for this year and then an option for 2026. So let's just say like a year and a half contract, 2-year contract.
Yeah.
It's not bad, and I think it's good because it's an option. We don't even have to do that. Something that Vamos Sounder says is we need selfish players. When we get to the 18, we just pass it around or go backwards. And I totally agree with that. And that's what I'm hoping. You know, the one thing I'm really hoping with is with Kent, if he does end up being a smash hit, is it kind of raises that offensive floor and standard. I feel like we've kind of like our standards for the offense has dropped off the last couple of years. So, yeah, that's one thing I'll say is I think Brody's saying I think on a 1-year free transfer, him being a potential knob doesn't bother him. Yeah, no, and it doesn't really bother me that much either, but just talking about all kind of like sides of the spectrum with it. And obviously, if you guys don't know, we'll bring this up now. This is how me and J Ross know him. That's how probably most of you know him. FIFA legend right here. FIFA icon, Ryan Kent. This is where he made, like, this was the most cracked card ever. He's here, he's there. That's going to be his chant. I'm almost certain you're going to see that. We're going to see some sort of chant like that if he pops off. If he doesn't pop off, it won't happen. Sounders EBFG says panic buy. Can Sounders afford that? Do I think it's a panic buy? A little bit, yes. In theory, technically, yes. It is a little bit. And yes, we can afford him. He's a free transfer. We're not paying anything for him except for his contract.
I would say like there's a reason why it's a panic buy though, right? Like
Yeah.
our attack has not looked good. We have a Club World Cup, and you see a name free transfer. Like, I think it's a panic buy, but it's a panic buy that you're kind of not digging yourself a hole in. You see some panic buys where teams will go out and spend money on a player and put him on a 3-year contract. Like Toronto, for example, with Insigne, they were in a bad spot, tried to bring a name like that in, and it's worked out swimmingly.
I was going to say Bernadeschi a little bit was a panic buy because you buy Insigne and you buy that other piece kind of because it happens so quickly.
Yeah.
And that hasn't panned out either. There's like, we've seen him when he's at Juventus training talking about, he's going to go back there. He doesn't want to be in like things like that. Like technically in the names of the law, this is a panic buy, but it's a really like low risk, high reward type of situation. And I'm cool with it. Like I'm cool with these type of transfers. If anything, I like this a lot more than I know, again, this is not going to bode well. I like this more than Areola by country mile. I like this more than, even though I love Kim Ki-hee, I like it more than Kim Ki-hee. And I'd honestly even argue I like this more than Jesus Ferreira. I know it's going to be not going to bode well and people might not agree with it, but I like it more than all these transfers because it's different. It is not what we've seen from us recently. It's out of left field. And I like that because now we're taking risks. That's how you become like, you know, you can compete in this league. You got to bring in those X factors, those players that are unknown quantities. So
there's definitely tons of examples in MLS too of guys like maybe not with the questionable history, but plenty of wingers in MLS that they've brought in from these random leagues and they've been a hit, right? Like I don't see
good
how
examples.
You don't like this signing.
Paintsel is not a bad, but granted, he was kind of a little bit more of a proven player compared to Ken. But that's a good example.
Like Adeni Bouanga. Like Adeni Bouanga was signed a League 2, league-owned team.
Yeah.
Not really a no-name, which to be honest, I only knew him originally because of his FIFA card. I think Bouanga is going to be miles better than Ryan Kent. I'm not saying they're the same player at all. But I'm saying this type of market, don't necessarily. I don't hate this deal at all.
I think people
Ani
are getting
Mukhtar's
this
a good
twisted.
example.
Can we afford this guy? He's for the last time I'm gonna say this. He is a free transfer. We are not paying anything for him. My man is desperate. He is so desperate. There's not much that has to be paid in this. Compared to other names that Nico said we were looking at bringing, and Ryan Kent is way better than a lot of them, and it's a free 1-year deal. I didn't see what the other names were personally. If you want to drop that in the chat, it's Taco Kid, but I would assume yes, it is. And the good thing is too, this is a good point that Barry brought up. We still have 320 U22 spots.
But bringing him in on a free, right? That's one less position we might have if he hits. That saves us 3 spots that we can go invest in U22 and that left back we've been talking about. Maybe an Obed replacement if we sell Obed. That just frees up so many avenues, and we didn't waste any transfer money to bring in Kent.
I 100% agree. And then another point I want to add is we all can admit here, Sounders have needed like a lethal out and out, kind of like, I think a good comparison to this is Victor Rodriguez. The only issue for Victor was he couldn't stay fit. And that's also another worry I have. And I do want to bring this up. I think it's a good transition is he does have a little bit of an injury past. And specifically, I am talking hamstring, which is my slight concern. But to the point I want to make is this kind of reminds me of a Victor Rodriguez, an out-and-out winger, a guy that will create half chances, will take players on, cut onto his right foot, cut onto his left foot, shoot, take chances. Then we can invest these U22 spots that you brought up, Barry, with the Obed money, without the Obed money, in a striker, kind of like what the Galaxy did, bringing in, I forgot what his name was, but a U22 Brazilian striker, or when they brought in Jovic. We can bring in a left back, a right back. We can hopefully make Pedro into a right winger. At least we can salvage our that whole thing. Now you're kind of cooking with something here. You're balling with the budget. This is Moneyball Sounders edition.
You know what? As for as much as we talk about him bouncing around too, like this is also he's only 28, which in my mind I'm like, oh, he's 30. Like he's 28, but this guy was playing in the Champions League like as recently as like 18 months ago. Like we're talking about a guy in his prime who has double-digit goals season not that long ago either as well. Like I feel like the upside for free is insanely high with this signing in terms of MLS.
I think he's only played like 5 games at striker. He is not, he's not a striker. He is just a left winger, guys. I'm going to be honest. If we play him anywhere else, we're absolutely shooting ourselves in the foot. What do you think about this? Ferreira sucks. I think it's too early to judge.
Agreed.
But I don't think, again, it's kind of like the same situation with Pedro. You don't bask yourself or help these players out when Ferreira's the marquee signing. When Pedro's the marquee sign, the only big signing. Like, you don't help these guys when the pressure's all on them. I think Pedro and Ferreira are good pieces if you brought in that big name that's supposed to handle and carry that weight and will produce. But yeah, that's probably what's going on. Okay, so
I will say too, like we just saw Schmetzer last week say that Ferreira's been on a minutes like limit all the way up till this past weekend. Like it's also Ferreira's not fit yet, which I think, like you said, him being the marquee signing, like that's not the best scenario we threw him into to produce right away. And you throw in the Morris injury and you throw in the fact that the fans have not been a fan of Musovski. Like all of that is just making it so coming back from an injury, Ferreira is the guy.
And that's the same situation with Pedro. It was the same thing with him last year.
Yeah.
So, and they're both playing very frustrated. But the players Moreno mentioned was Gressel and Robert Taylor. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. If this was like 2018, I'd take Julian Gressel, but I wouldn't want him now.
If he produced, fit with what we need to.
Oh no, I don't think either of those players
more on the right side. Like, how does that help with Roldan? Because we don't like his defending.
Where did Mukhtar even play before?
Played in Denmark.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Pretty good comp, actually. I think they're sort of like one of those guys who was known kind of a cult hero, and then in one of those smaller European leagues, and jumped the MLS, and obviously Mukhtar's been MVP caliber. I mean, same sort of jump. I mean, those type of leagues, those smaller European leagues, MLS has been proven to find gold mines there. I just think that if Kent happened to not have a good FIFA card, he might be more comparable to those. But because he had a crazy good FIFA card, he's a bigger name.
Sure, 100%. Because he had a name in FIFA. I like the point Brody makes. He has an injury history. Weibel all over that. He'll sign him by tomorrow. That is my biggest concern. I think this is a good, and you guys can all chime in on that. What do we think is the pros and cons to this transfer? Let's get into that. He may join. Yeah, see that we talked about this early on. How he was. It's not going to happen. That deal's not going to happen. By the way. But let's talk about pros and cons when it comes to Ryan Kent and what we think about this transfer.
I mean, I'll say pros. His ceiling is crazy high, and he's free. I think he will provide something that we don't have off the left. Like, no offense to Rothrock, but he's not that fast guy that 21-year-old American right back goes, oh, shoot, I have to go against him today. We don't really have that coming off the left right now. It sort of mix up the attack. And I think that's kind of, he can provide what the fan base likes about Georgie, that wow factor, but maybe a little more well-rounded. I mean, he is 28, right? So I think his end product might be a little cleaner, and we're not paying money for him. But like on the downside, he has injury history and he has some questions on his training habits, sort of the off the field stuff. So it definitely has potential to give Sounders some bad media publicity.
And he loves crocodiles. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but that's there.
Which question it too, because there are states where it's legal to have one in the US, I learned today. So I mean, maybe he'll jump off the Sounders and go to one of those states, but
yeah, I think big pro is it's exciting. It's kind of cool. Like, it's just like a cool type of player to get. And I think that's the big plus. My second one, I'd already brought it up, is it's like so out of left field, man. Who would have thought, like, when we were playing FIFA, Sounders would be buying this guy? Granted, like, obviously he's desperate, and he knows it. We know, and I think both parties know we're both desperate. We're desperate. He's desperate. This could be a win-win. And as you said, I think the cons are all the same all around. Injury history. He hasn't played. I think it's the biggest part is he hasn't played in 6 months. So it's kind of similar situation.
Maybe even longer, dude.
Yeah.
Because he has like 68 league minutes recorded. Like, Mourinho did not like this guy.
Yeah. So it's like, he's going to have to really get acclimated quickly, kind of like Kim, because Kim was in off season when he joined us. And yeah, so the one thing I will say is it depends on when this deal gets over the line. If he does join, it's going to be a little bit, I think, till we see him actually play. Depends on how fit he is, though. I don't know, but about over 6 months of not playing is a little bit of a scare, I will say.
It is easier than the Kiki situation because, like, a winger, he can ease into fitness, and we'll see him pop into a game for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 75 at the 75th minute. Center back, like, you don't really see them get that opportunity, so it's kind of like you'll play when you're fit. If not, you're not really playing, right? A winger has a lot more opportunities to sub in and sort of get acclimated a little more, I think.
Okay, so some people have been chiming in on their pros. He's only here till the end of the season and has more rewards than risk. The con is his injury history, and he only played like 200 minutes in 2024. But upsides, yeah, I agree. Pros, free, a proven threat, could put butts in seats. I agree with that. Would contribute to the tech attack, I'm assuming is what he meant. Brody has a little comment saying, a guy who can actually beat people. I like that too. With pace and skill combined, free. I think that's the unanimous thing. Free. That should be the title of the video. Right? It should just be Ryan Kent's face and free.
Yeah.
Cons, injury history. Yeah, I think that's pretty unanimous. Anything on salary? Barry, what do you mean? Like, what will he take up? We don't know. We wouldn't know. Nathan asked too, any word on his fitness? Has basically sat for as J Ross said, maybe even longer than that. He hasn't played yeah.
And even prior to him being a free agent, like, Mourinho had him training by himself, not with the team, which supposedly he's been training up to professional level standard, but like
It's not the
the
same.
fitness between running by yourself and playing soccer is so different. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see.
Being fit and being match fit, 2 different things.
Absolutely.
Wade as well comments on his cons. Risk of injury could be a mess in the locker room. Yeah, it's pretty similar to what he said. This is a good question. Brody asks, what do you guys think his ceiling is? That's a good question because we brought up players like Bouanga, Mukhtar, Paintsil. What could be the highs of the highs? What could be the lows of the lows here?
I think highs the highs. I don't think I'd be comfortable saying like I compared it to him, but I said not in the same vein. Like I don't think he has the Bouanga or like Mukhtar potential necessarily based off of his history. He definitely has like textbook. I guess I could say he has that potential, but I could see him like MLS All-Star caliber if it works out and he gets back. I would say floor is he's a locker room cancer. He plays 2 appearances, like 19 combined minutes, and is a Cecchini situation where that guy played for the Sounders.
He's like, oh, who? You may not remember this guy played for us. It's that type of video with him.
Yeah,
I
he turns
agree.
into one of the
I think he could be a good, but the thing is, as I brought up earlier, this reminds me of like Oba, a very like Oba was a journeyman in Europe. Granted, I think he's a bit more polished than Kent is. He's a journeyman in Europe, didn't quite fit in, had that build of pace and a bit of finishing. And Oba came here and is arguably like the best individual talented season we've ever seen as a Sounder in 2014. So I could see like some type of season from him. Gonna say it again. Dude has a pet crocodile, equal red flag. Do you guys agree with that or disagree with that?
He's aggressive, you know?
He's,
Well,
why
we'll
do
reevaluate this conversation after the signing to dictate if it was a red flag or if we can spin it to like explain why he ended up being a all-time signing.
that is true too. Brody brings up a good point. Ryan Kent has a top tier cult hero upside with most hated signing ever downside. Yeah, it could go really well or really bad. But I'm excited. But the thing is I like this. It makes me happy. It makes me excited.
Yeah.
Like the thing is like with signings like Areola, Ferreira, who did we bring in last year? Nobody other than Pedro. But like, I guess similar to Pedro's vein, it's exciting because it's like you don't know what could happen. It could go really well or really bad. But with Areola and Ferreira, like, oh, we kind of know what they're gonna bring. There's nothing more, nothing less, really.
Also, go back on it. I'm not saying the same player, not expecting the same output, but like in terms of age range, he's 28. Like when LAFC took a flyer on Bouanga and he blew up. Let's say Ryan Kent likes it here and plays. Could have 5 years at least of being a quality winger in the MLS. Like it's not like we're signing a 33-year-old free agent who has the knees of Luis Suarez. Like this guy is.
Well, granted, Suarez is still good with his knees.
Oh, 100%. Just what came to my head that video. But like this guy should theoretically be in his prime or close to it on a free. I like it.
I think I like it too. I'm pretty excited. I'm curious, what number do you think he's gonna take? I think he might take Berdilio's number.
Yeah, because he's like known for being 14, right? But I don't.
Oh,
think
is he?
Rothrock. That's what he was at Rangers. I'm pretty sure. And I mean, if I'm Paul Rothrock, I'm not giving my number to my replacement personally, unless he's offering me a lot of money.
My spot.
Kidding. But to be honest, though, in the long run, this could be good for Rothrock to not necessarily like be the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a byproduct of what you always say with like Morris, how he's comfortable. I think where Rothrock
that's with a lot of players on the team.
Yeah, I feel like the ability to not be comfortable and Rothrock. That's how he made his name, was coming off the bench. Like, I think this is one of those signings, in my opinion, where it's okay to love it, but there's no reason to hate it. You can be neutral or love it, but like if you're sitting out here saying how bad this is, like we're not paying a transfer fee.
I hate it, J. Ross. I'm just kidding. No,
yeah,
I'm a big fan of it.
Dumb.
I like it. you're done, buddy.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I'm looking.
You're wrong.
I'm looking at some of the numbers. Who's 11? Go Snack. That should be his name, man. I need to like get my graphic designer on it and make the emoji the next one. Oh, by the way, everybody, to all the members in the live, we added the Georgie emoji. If you guys want to spam that in here, I added that recently. I think the next one I should do is a ghost snack one. It's like Roo snack, but as a ghost. I think that has to be it. So looking at the numbers, 11, can't take it, Roo snack, Rothrock, 14, 26. I don't think anyone has that number. 40.
Andrew Thomas is 26.
Fuck, I guess 40 it is. Do we have a number 7?
I can see Thomas. I could. I don't like the idea of giving number 7 to your free. Yeah, Roldan's also 7, but that would. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see. That feels like a kit, though. That feels like one of those things where, like, no matter how good Ryan Kent is, at the end of the year when the jerseys come out, he's like 4th in the MLS in sales.
100%. Because he's like that.
Every FIFA nerd.
Yeah.
Everyone. I am one of those guys.
That's a collector's item. I want to find a really good example, but it's like maybe like Akinfenwa.
Oh yeah.
Like you think about like people probably bought his kit because KSI did all those videos about him and whatnot. Like
an Emre Moore, like someone like that, where it's like cracked FIFA card, where like bro is 28 random. I don't know where he plays now, but because of he was cracked bronze card on FIFA at Dortmund, I loved him.
Someone said, "Man, is number 8 available? The Victor Rodriguez regen?"
Because did Atencio wear 8?
He did, yeah. Atencio did wear 8. No, Harry Shipp used to wear number 19, huh? 77. That used to be Sota's number. Yeah, and then Tebez used to wear 99. 99 would be such a meme. That would be such a meme.
We cannot disrespect your best friend.
A shithouse player with a wacky number is what I want. And it's exciting too, because we're going to probably announce him. Let's see. Let's say like, okay, let's play a theoretical game here. We announce him by Thursday or even Friday. The new third kit comes out the following week.
Yeah, that would be. Okay, this is a good point though. I would like though. I think it'd be hilarious, right? Like, let's say Ryan. I think Ryan can't. Like, imagine we see him like 74, like 73, like some random number. Just
dude, I think he might.
Winger.
Okay, wait. Let's all bookmark it. Let's everyone make a prediction what number we think Ken's gonna get. I'm gonna say 27, but you guys, we cannot repeat it. If you get it right, shoot me a DM of the screenshot and I'll send you something. I don't know what it's gonna be, but everyone drop it now. And by the way, while you're doing that, everyone like the stream if you haven't already. Let's get this to like 100 likes in honor of Ryan Ken and all that good stuff. So like it up.
If this
become a member.
Okay.
Let's go. Now let's get these numbers.
Give me a like target, Sean. Give us a good like target.
Like target. Let's just get over 50 likes.
No, I'm thinking if this gets over 120 likes and Kent signs for the Sounders, I'll get a Ryan Kent jersey.
The third kit too?
We'll decide later because I need to get that Salish C kit first.
The to be determined.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see everyone's predictions. Okay, if this gets over 120 likes, J. Ross is getting the Ryan Kent shirt. Either in the we'll agree on this. Either Salish C or third kit. It'll be one of the two.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Agreed. I like that.
Okay, so Barry is saying 69.
All right.
Give him number 10. Wait, who has number 10 right now? Why am I? Oh, Pedro. Oh my god.
Cole Dobson. Jeez. Number 10 for
cool. 8. Wow, someone's saying straight up 14. Dude, everyone. I'm buying a Kent shirt and I don't care if he ends up being a bust. I think we're all kind of in that same boat. It's Taco Kid is dying on the 99 hill. 44.
I like it. I stand with that. He needs to be 99 or 73. Those are my two. I want one of those.
Why 73?
I don't know why, but that just feels like, I think it's be jokes to have like a crazy, like a DK Metcalf emotional player who's techie, just number 73 on back.
It's just 44. This is another random number. 8. I think that's the realistic one. I could see 8. I'm still sticking with 27. We go back to this and everyone sees the announcement at 27. You better all be tagging Rave Green TV got it right. 69 again. Cole changes the prediction. Dragon Lover saying it's going to be double digits. Anybody got 12? I don't think so. I think last person where 12 was Freddie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. That's what I
19.
think.
Brody's on the hate train for Musovski. Ever since we brought up
That's
numbers, he said 19.
yeah.
69. Wait, this is hella cool. Is this just a rumor or is there actual traction behind this? Also, this is a classic summer signing. Yes, there's legit traction behind it. Kevin saying 16. Alex Roldan, I think, is number 16.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. 30. I can maybe see 30. Sebastian says 100.
Do you like some Liga MX and have him be like 194, like when they have all their academy kids play?
73 is a hockey number. Okay. I'd like 90. I think
100%
everyone
is.
can. 20 is Kim's number. Can't give him that. This would be bigger news than Trent to Madrid. Wait, did Trent actually join Real Madrid? That's confirmed.
No. I think he's just saying like sarcastically. Cole Dobson seems to be having some banter in the chat tonight.
I know. I can see that. Chad saying 32. You know, that reminds me of, who remembers Mathers? I think he had number 32.
Oh,
I think Matthew Mathers.
Yeah. He was. Was it Matthew?
Brady
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, I think it was. You're gonna have to fact check that on for me. Freddie Montero is more of a Whitecaps legend. That's crazy. Matias was a crazy, crazy hot take.
Ryan Kent wrong. That's a wrong. That's just incorrect.
Statement. Ryan Kent turned down Madrid to play here allegedly. That's absurd. He said, Mateus, get out. Nathan saying number 2. Doesn't someone have that number? Okay, everyone's fixed on 8, but okay, Jack's coming in with a donation. As a Sounders fan and Celtic fan, this man needs to be renounced the royal family in order to join the club.
I'm personally a Rangers fan,
excited.
so
okay,
I love this. You know, Rangers over Celtic. The whole like probably 8 Rangers games I've watched in my life.
I've watched 0.
So
I just think I don't know, man. This is a fun signing. 2 like Dempsey. I thought 2 was retired. No, I don't think 2's retired. I'm telling you guys, 27. I don't know, man. I don't know whether if we end up making this signing, which kid I'd get him on the back of. I mean, it'll make it easier for sure. I'll probably get him if this happens. It's just a matter of which kit between the sales seat. I won't be here when we release the 3rd kit, unfortunately, but Gio Reyna to Seattle. Big Olu.
So that's this guy
back. Do you guys remember that from the Christmas special we did?
I thought it was Tolu. I thought it was with a T.
It was Tolu.
I think Brody doesn't know his own player at this point.
I don't think so either. Let's get Gio to Seattle. Okay, what are you guys' final thoughts? Okay, Cole asked, what Premier League club do you support? Do you have one, J. Ross?
Yeah, I'm United.
Oh, dude, he's horrendously down bad. Someone brought up Pugba to Seattle. Here you go. Pugba to Seattle.
Looks too good.
It looks too good. The graphic designer had a madness on this one. He had a madness. We should get that guy on our team 100. The first 3-digit player. I'm thinking Seahawks lineman, my bad. Oh. Celtic are the good guys. Rangers represent British colonialists and royal families. Celtic represent Irish immigrants. Jack, welcome to the stream. Guys, we have over 50 of you watching. If you haven't already, like we said, over 120 likes, and J. Ross right above me is going to get Ryan Kent on the Sailor C or new 3rd kit that comes out in almost 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think all in all, like, any final thoughts, everybody? What do we think about the signing, the pros, the cons? What number do you guys think Ryan Kent's going to take? How excited are you? Do you think it's not going to be good? What do we think? Get our new chant ready. It's going to be the Roy Kent parody. I like how like the most amount of comments on there was about Roy Kent. Even these are like 2 completely different players in my opinion. Seattle Bouanga. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do this. Everyone give me a grading if this deal happens. Context. Free transfer. That's actually pretty much it. That's the only context. Free transfer. What do we give it? Either you can give a letter or number grade. J Ross, let's get yours too.
I agree with it's Taco Cat. I do a B+ right now. Like, it's definitely passing. You're happy with the grade. It's not. We didn't sign Ronaldo, or else I'd give it A+. But it's.
I would honestly
get a
argue
B+.
I would rather have a Roy in regards to ability right now. Dude, CR7 is so washed. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want Ronaldo right now.
If we had Ronaldo, that stadium, we would be having 45,000
Well, yes, of course,
people
for a
every game.
namesake.
Yeah.
But like, dude, Ronaldo's such a pen merchant now. I would not want to.
I think it's B+. I like it. I love it. Like, obviously, there's better signings, but on a free, I love it.
Okay, everyone's saying A-, A-, A-. Jack's with the lowest one, C+.
I just think he's a diehard Celtic fan. Okay, don't hate. I respect the pride. I respect.
Jack says C. Jack, why do you say C? A-. This would be the best signing of the season. Okay, then that's my next question, everybody. Is this the best season of the best signing of the off season? That is my question now. A-, B+. You were about to answer it. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I mean, I was thinking about it because I mean, I think we'll have to see how they perform because I think it has definitely potential to be far and away the best offseason signing. It also has potential to be the like, why the heck did the Sounders do that signing?
My follow-up to this is, while I was drinking water, could this be a better signing than Pedro?
It definitely can be because Pedro's played 4.5 games for the Sounders between injuries. Like, definitely has. It can. I'd like to think that it won't be, but it can.
What do you guys think? Everyone drop me that. Ronaldo would end Morris, honestly. I forgot about that. I know, Mr. Leroy. I know I probably angered a lot of people. Was this able to be done because of the Atencia move? No, again, I think the reason it is happening is because of Areola's season-ending injury. Could we have still made this happen with or without Areola being injured? Yes, because again, it's a free transfer. Nathan's saying no. Jesus will find his form, so he thinks Ferreira is the best signing.
I think Jesus will find his form too, and I'm not saying that this will be the best signing. I'm saying it has the ability to be, right?
Jack is saying, bro, this guy's just another winger. We need. He does bring a good point up, though.
Oh yeah,
Jack. We do need a striker, but we're all about the locals. We're all about those locals. Okay, we're gonna get our final thoughts. We're gonna wrap up the stream. We went a little bit longer than we anticipated, but we didn't expect you guys to be just swarming in on us on it. Yeah. If you guys have not already, one thing I want to bring up is Brody, J. Ross, and we have a fun thing planned for our members. If you become a member, we're gonna drop a members only Q&A where every member can ask a question that we're gonna do. This is a great idea by Brody. I haven't even officially announced it in our chat, but we're going to do it anyway. So J. Ross is just going to listen to it as it goes. For our members, if you become a member on the channel, 1, you're going to start getting shouted out at the end of every video. 2, we're going to start doing this, I think, monthly, bi-weekly, something like that. We're on our community tab for our members only. We're going to do exclusive videos where you guys drop a question about a topic and it'll have its own dedicated video talking about it. So basically, like, members ask us questions about topics, could be whatever about the Sounders. Is Jordan Morris the best thing since sliced bread? Is Stephen Fry washed? Is Yamar the absolute go? It could be whatever it may be, and we're going to be answering them in dedicated videos going forward. That's going to be a thing we're going to start doing on the channel. It's kind of like a caller, our members calling in and asking us what they want us to talk about in its own dedicated video. So if you guys have not already, like the stream, become a member. It's literally the first link in the description. Is the best way to support the channel. And boys and girls, we hope you all have a lovely day.